Moving on to question 2, we will start with Jen Flynn, Area 4. One of the most important decisions the elected trustees will ever make in office will come early, hiring a new permanent superintendent. What characteristics are you looking for most in the next PUSD superintendent? And as the top candidates are vetted and interviewed, how, if at all, should district employees, parents, students, and other important stakeholders be involved in that review process?
So I'm excited that we'll have a new superintendent here at PUSD. I've had the honor of working with Superintendent Hagelin and as well as the interim or Dr. Geisels. I've worked on multiple committees with them, and the qualifications that I would look for in a superintendent, I want somebody with experience in budget crisis, somebody that has already been through this process that can carry us through. I want somebody who's straightforward. He's a leader that's student-centered. So he is going to be in the schools, visiting the schools, in your classrooms. He wants to know the details. He's not going to be afraid, he or she, my apologies, he'll have a sense of urgency. They will have a sense of urgency when it comes to concerns from staff and parents. We need them to be engaging and community-oriented. Superintendent sets a new positive tone for labor negotiations and partnerships. This is very important in our district. We need someone that is a leader that will take us through and not just lead at our top level. We want them to lead at the bottom with our school sites up to our district office, which is important. That leader needs to be all around. Thank you.
Thank you. And candidate Jones, Area 4.
Well, the superintendent is the only employee that we can hire and fire. It's an important position to be in. So when we look for somebody like this, I've actually been in a superintendent search in my prior district. I've been through this process before. So it's interesting to now be on it from this side again. You're gonna want somebody who understands and knows our community and has worked with communities that are similar to ours and how it is shifting demographics wise. Otherwise, there's going to be a disconnect, and that leads to tension and problems. And we've seen this come up before. The other thing that you need in a superintendent is somebody who does not micromanage. Because if they don't trust their employees enough to delegate, then you're not going to have strong leadership coming up the pipeline for when you need people to be promoted. So you want somebody who trusts in their employees to be able to do their job and isn't constantly telling them you need to do this at this time and in this way. This is important. And you also need somebody who is going to be able to rebuild the trust between our labor partners, our parents, and our students, because right now that trust has been broken. And until that's repaired, we're going to continue to see these impasses come up again and again, like you've seen for the last couple of years. And we're better than that. Pleasanton is known as a community that cares. We're one of the best districts in the state. So we can move beyond this. Our superintendent needs to be somebody that has a strong moral compass and stands by what they believe and will stand up for their staff and for their students and for the parents when things are going wrong and take responsibility for anything that might come their way and be solutions oriented. I believe we can find somebody like that. Everybody up here at this table cares about this district and they want to find somebody who's good for us. So together, we need to make sure that we're reaching out like we have to our partners, making sure that we're meeting people where they are and not just sending surveys because that's not how you reach people. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Harris, Area 3.
Thank you. Sorry. Superintendent qualities. This plays around in my mind so frequently. As past PTA council president, I had the experience of building a very solid functional relationship with our previous superintendent. And while I didn't always agree with what he said or how he said, I was very proud of the fact that our community, our PTA council committee was able to work constructively together and really accomplish a lot of positive things for our students. That being said, he has left quite the hole here in a very difficult time, and therefore this moment uniquely we need to find someone who is very well versed and familiar with our specific budgetary needs and requirements. That's just a non-starter. Does that person need to have been a superintendent before? Probably. I mean, it would be nice, but not necessarily. What I really want to say is we need someone who doesn't treat our teachers like customer service providers and who doesn't treat parents like difficult customers. We really need someone who sees parents, teachers, students, the entire community as members of a very invested partnership. Because if we're not all in it together, we're all going to fall apart. We're going to see the kind of disruption and fractured community that we're seeing now. So we need someone who is a consensus and community builder.
Thank you. And candidate Makashi, Area 3.
This is a great question. In the 30 years of my experience in education, I have worked with many different types of leaders and superintendents. There's some core qualities that I feel are really important for any leader, and in particular for a superintendent that's going to carry through with Pleasanton with some of the challenges that our community needs to get past. First, integrity. And the core characteristics is really to the integrity of the individual. I also believe that transparency, equality in being able to be clearly transparent on the intentions and goals to lead our district. Some other qualities I was thinking about is listening to all educational partners, our parents, our teachers, our students, and community partners. There's a lot of qualities that we feel, I think in general for superintendents, that is essential. But I had the experience of hiring and firing personnel. And I will say that one of the most important attributes and characteristics is having a leader that can have a vision and help execute that vision through transformative change and not be afraid to take people along. What that means is not top-down leadership, but from the bottom up, from the ground up. Get the buy-in from the teachers. Have teachers, students have a voice. We need to have everyone heard. The other thing I think that is essential for a superintendent is to not be above the board, to be willing to work with each and every trustee and build the core relationships, because the relationships is the foundation of how we guide and build success for our students. So those are some of the qualities and characteristics I believe our superintendent needs. And I have the skill and know-how to take a look at that type of candidate when hiring. Thank you.